UFC Vegas 106 just got finished. Burns versus Morales. It was a good card. As I predicted, I said there was going to be a lot of banger fights. I said there was going to be a lot of wars. There was a lot of finishes. From what I can tell, there was 4 decisions out of 12 fights, which is pretty good in terms of us getting like finishes on the card. So I did all right. I went 9-3 on picks. Even the ones I got wrong, they were good fights. But anyways, I'm going to go through every single fight on the card, give you my immediate reaction. First fight on the card was Tisha Pennington versus Luana Pinheiro. I called 29-28 decision for Tisha Pennington. It was a 29-28 decision for Tisha Pennington. She seemed to lose a few exchanges. She threw like a couple axe kicks at one point, which was a little weird because she is like 4'6". Why are you throwing axe kicks? But she did get it done. She landed a lot of side kicks in the third round. Low and high, some spinning attacks. And Luana Pinheiro, like I said, as the fight went, she just slowed down. I think judges gave her the second round, which could have even gone to Tisha Pennington. It could have been 30-27 if you really wanted it to be. Good win from Tisha Pennington. Moving on, we got Hyun-Sung Park versus Carlos Hernandez. I said it was going to be a decision, but I said the finishing ability from Hyun-Sung Park, it was possible that he was going to get a submission, and he did. Immediately went to the ground, basically, within the first minute and a half with Carlos Hernandez, took the back, choked him out. Didn't seem to be very competitive. Even when they were on the feet, Hyun-Sung Park seemed to have, it was very obvious that Hyun-Sung Park had the more power advantage, so to say. Seemed to be kind of mismatched. Hyun-Sung Park seems to be kind of a problem at this point. We might see him matched up against someone pretty good in his next fight because he looked absolutely dominant, getting a sub in the first half of the first round. Good win from him. I expect a much tougher matchup in his next fight. Denise Gomes versus Elise Reed. I said Denise Gomes would probably get a decision because it's women's MMA, but she got a finish in the second round. It probably could have been in the first round too with the way it was looking. She rocked her pretty bad with a straight right hand early in the first round because Elise Reed was just walking into combinations with her guard down pretty much, and Denise Gomes landed a big right hand, took her down, controlled her for the rest of the first round, and then in the second round it was same story. Just counter right hand, put her down, and this was another huge mismatch that probably shouldn't have been made. I guess they're just giving Denise Gomes a layup here, which fair enough, you know. Good win from Denise Gomes. We all thought it was going to be lopsided. It was. Good win from her. After that, it was Luana Santos versus Tainara Lisboa. I said in my prediction video that it was going to be the grappling. That was going to be the difference. I didn't know it was going to be this prevalent. I thought it was going to stay on the feet for a little bit longer, and Luana Santos would entertain the striking exchanges more. She didn't do that. She got a body lock, took her down, controlled her for the entire first round. I thought she was going to submit her in the first round because Tainara's defense was basically non-existent. There were tons of different submissions that came up for Luana Santos. She could have taken an arm at any point. Tainara was basically on the bottom just flailing around, giving her arms, limbs, her neck. I thought it was going to happen in the first round. Second round started, I was like, okay, we're on the feet. Maybe Tainara sprawls better this round and is looking for Luana Santos to shoot a takedown or get a body lock or something of that nature. And she just got taken down immediately, again, for the majority of the round. And then right at the end, she got subbed with an Americana, I believe. And I called round 2 sub. It was round 2 sub. I called it perfectly. Good win from Luana Santos. The grappling was the difference. She might be a problem heading into the rankings at some point. We'll see. Tainara Lisboa just seemed to be absolutely helpless in the grappling. After that, Yadier Del Valle versus Connor Matthews. I said Yadier Del Valle was going to get an early finish. I thought he was going to TKO Connor Matthews, but it really didn't matter. He submitted him in the first round. I called early TKO. It was an early sub. So close enough. Connor Matthews looked good on the front foot. Like I said, he looks half decent when he's throwing in combination, moving forward, moving toward you, landing nice leg kicks, exiting in good spots. He threw a head kick while he was moving backwards, and Yadier Del Valle caught it and took him down and took his back, flattened him out, and choked him out. It was like way too easy. He didn't look as sloppy as he did on the Contender series, which is good. You know, it seems to be that he's maybe moving in the right direction. He doesn't look like like a complete retard anymore, so that's good. Good win from Yadir Del Valle. First round finish as I predicted, but instead of a KO, it was a sub. Moving on from this was the first pick that I got wrong. We were perfect up until this point. Jared Gordon versus Thiago Moises. Thiago Moises got taken down basically just like right away. I don't know what the hell happened. I think he threw a kick. Jared Gordon caught it, and I think he took him down, if I remember that correctly. Basically sat on bottom position for a good minute or two before shrimping out of half guard, I think it was, and then they get to the feet. Thiago Moises tries to land a check hook, and Jared Gordon throws a right hand over the top of his left hook, connects clean, puts him down, and on the way into the guard, Jared Gordon pops him clean with a right hand, and he's completely unconscious. Thiago Moises is too chinny, man. He's too chinny. I thought he was going to have more success. I thought he was going to be able to pick and choose his shots at range, and then when the grappling presented itself later in the fight, he would be able to do whatever he wanted. He didn't. He just got mauled the whole time. Good win from Jared Gordon. After this, Gabe Green versus Mateus Camilo. I got this one wrong too. I said Mateus Camilo was going to finish Gabe Green early, and he almost did. He had him in a triangle, like a deep, deep triangle. He was ripping to the body also very early on, like heavy shots that you could tell they were doing some damage. And then when we did get to the ground, Mateus Camilo had top position for a little while, transitioned into a triangle, and it was tight. I was waiting for a tap. I was like getting ready to take a screenshot of the winner and loser to put up on the screen. I was like, all right, let's get ready to take a screenshot of this so we can put it in the video. And to be honest with you, in hindsight, Mateus Camilo probably could have, instead of chaining it to a triangle armbar, he probably could have just held the triangle and just started firing elbows at the crown of Gabe Green's head. That might have worked a little bit better. Gabe Green's picked him up, slammed him. I don't think that really changed the position too much. Sometimes that can put the triangle deeper in. Sometimes it loosens it, but I don't think it really did anything. I think he just slowly started to shrimp his way. That's not even the right term for that, but he started to find his way out. Once he got out of the triangle, it was like Mateus Camilo was just, I think the lactic acid built up in his legs and his lungs were probably burning, and just the mental state of, holy shit, I had him right there and I couldn't finish him. He basically just folded. So Gabe Green gets on top. Mateus Camilo rolls to his back, and Gabe Green submits him with a rear naked choke. So good win from Gabe Green. He looked good at 155 pounds. I thought he was going to get clipped and slept, but good for him, I guess. But we'll see. We'll see if the weight cut plays any role in his future at 155. Who knows? Next up, Melquizael Costa versus Julian Erosa. Apparently, this fight was close. As far as Twitter's concerned, I thought it was 3-0 Melky. 29-28, maybe. Every shot that Melky landed was 10 times as hard as anything that Julian Erosa landed the entire fight. Even in the grappling exchanges, I felt like Melky was winning. I thought it was pretty dominant, to be honest with you, which seems like a lot of people disagree with that, and some people thought it was close. Melquizael Costa looked really, really good. He slowed down a little bit in the third round, but he was landing 1-2s down the pipe. He was landing check hooks. Those little stomps to the lead knee of Julian Erosa were working really well. He landed a crescent kick, if I remember right, which is crazy. I don't remember the last time I remember seeing a crescent kick get landed. Great win. I thought it was probably the best performance of Melky's career to this point. I think he's making really big strides. Great win from Melquizael Costa. Next up, Dustin Stoltzfus versus Nursultan Rusaboyev. This fight was way closer than I thought it would be because Dustin Stoltzfus came to play, dude. I was ready for Nursultan Rusaboyev to land a right hand and Dustin to just go out. But Dustin hurt him early, I think. It might have been a head clash. I didn't see the replay or anything, but he dropped Rusaboyev early, if that's even what you want to call it. Second round ends, Nursultan Rusaboyev started to gain a little bit of momentum. Even at the end of the first round, he started to turn the tide, and he was landing good shots from top position on the ground. And second round ends, and he goes back to the corner, and he looks spent. And I'm like, oh, shit. He's going to get finished in the third round. This is not good. He's able to win a war in the third round. Dustin Stoltzfus came to play, dude. Credit to him, honestly, because the size of Nursultan Rusaboyev is going to be a problem for a lot of people, even at 185. So credit to him. It was a good fight. It was a war. Dustin Stoltzfus got cracked big time with a big uppercut. I think it might have broken his nose. He was bleeding all over the place with it from his nose. Credit to him. He's a tough guy. Credit to Nursultan Rusaboyev, honestly, too, for he got dropped in the first round and then somehow came back and turned the tide. So it was a really good fight. There wasn't even, I don't think there was a bad fight on this entire card. So, except for maybe this next one. This next one was kind of boring. Sadiq Yusuff, Myron Santos. Oh, and by the way, Paul Craig, I'm sure as a lot of you know, Paul Craig and Rodolfo Bellato got canceled. There was like a medical emergency or something. I don't know. He pulled out like 45 minutes before he walked out. So kind of weird. I don't know what the is going on. I don't know what it was. We haven't gotten a word on what the hell happened to him because they showed him walking into the Apex. He looked fine. He was with his team. He didn't look like ill or anything. So I'm interested to see what it was. But anyways, this was our co-main event. It was Myron Santos versus Sadiq Yusuff. I took Sadiq Yusuff because I was like, he's been ranked, fought good competition, and a 25-year-old Myron Santos probably won't be able to give him any issues. That did not happen. He got basically just worked at range the entire time. Myron Santos did whatever the hell he wanted. Sadiq Yusuff looked like he was just stuck in the mud the whole time. It was pathetic. And he was trying to walk Myron Santos down at times and it seemed that he was trying to draw some sort of strike out of Myron Santos and looked to counter off of that, but he was just too slow. And Myron Santos picked his shots really well. He wasn't headhunting or anything. He worked up in the clinch a lot. He seemed to be even stronger than Sadiq Yusuff, which may play into the fact that Sadiq Yusuff is a 45er. I don't think he'll have any success at 55. So good win for Myron Santos. Wasn't a very fun fight to watch. Probably the only fight on the card, but good fight, I guess. Main event time. It was Michael Morales versus Gilbert Burns. I saw some people saying that, oh, Gilbert's in shape for this one. He brought back old coaches to tell him that he needs to lock back in and stop doing podcasts and all this stuff. It was and he's in great shape. Gilbert has never been in bad shape ever for a fight. I don't know what people are talking about that like it's some new thing. No, he's always been in shape. He's never not been in shape for a fight. And he got finished in the first round. I think Gilbert seemed to be too worried about the straight shots because his guard was very closed off center on to Michael Morales, which is honestly what I thought was going to be the problem for Gilbert Burns, was the stiff jabs of Michael Morales landing just stiff jabs in the face of Gilbert Burns, having a reach advantage and being able to throw without putting himself in any danger. So I think Gilbert was trying to close off those opportunities to Michael Morales. It seemed that whenever Michael Morales had space and they kind of came to a stalemate in the center of the octagon, Michael Morales would fire a couple left hooks around the guard and land clean every single time. So he immediately saw the problem that Gilbert Burns had presented, or the opening that Gilbert Burns had presented, and he just pounced on it. It was a mauling. It was an absolute mauling. Gilbert shot a takedown at one point. He got him down. He picked him up and went to throw him down, and Michael Morales basically just landed on his knees and popped right back up. I said in my prediction video that he wasn't going to be able to do anything with the takedowns if he did ever get one, which I wouldn't even consider that to be a takedown. He didn't really get him down. He went down, but he just within half a second, he popped right back up and it didn't do anything. Yeah, he popped back up. Gilbert grabs the hands, tries to get another body lock and pick him up and take him down. Morales breaks the hands of the body lock, turns, reverses position, separates, gets back to the center. He had been firing with a left hook around the guard. He'd double up on a left hook, slap it around the guard a couple times. He went to a right hook around the guard, connected clean. You could tell it hurt Gilbert because he backed up and fell up against the cage. Morales picks his shots up against the cage, uppercuts, hooks. Gilbert basically starts to fold. I said this would happen, by the way. I said that he would curl up against the cage and get finished. Curls up against the cage, drops down, ends up grabbing onto his single leg, doesn't really get anywhere with it. He tries to pick up Michael Morales' leg, flip him over, take him down. Morales' balance and takedown defense is just way too good. Then Morales just fires more combinations up against the cage. He landed another big right hook around the guard again, which is ultimately where Burns fell and got finished on the cage. As I predicted, I didn't predict round one. Round one is crazy. I predicted round 3. This kid's a problem, dude. It was a really good card. Probably the best fight night card that I can think of, other than maybe UFC Seattle. UFC Seattle's main event, though, was a total stinker because of the Henry Cejudo thing. But did good on picks. In hindsight, probably should have done better, but great card. Michael Morales is going to be a huge problem. In terms of who he should fight next, I want to play matchmaker real quick. Leon Edwards? Unless Leon, after losing to Sean Brady, he might need a minute. But that makes sense. Or he can take on the loser of Usman Buckley. Just an idea. But he's got to fight up. He's got to fight up somewhere. He can't go back and fight down like a Colby Covington or a Jeff Neal. I don't think that makes sense. Yeah, Leon, or most likely Usman after that fight night main event. Yeah, great card. This isn't going to be the most heavily edited video, or the longest video for that matter. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the card just as much as I did. I had a blast. Michael Morales up next. Honestly, might be a contender for the belt at some point with the way he's looking, because that was an absolute mauling, and it was to Gilbert Burns. So yeah, appreciate you guys. See you in the next one. Peace.